Bunch of wild turkeys over there. It's cool. What is up, everybody? This is John with Archer Fish. I am back here at Lake Cachuma, one of my favorite lakes. I've been trying to get on the reaction bait bite here, crankbait, jerkbait, stuff like that. It is last year, this time of year was amazing. Again, the lake was much fuller then. It's very low. So anyway, that's my goal. Try to get on a reaction bait bite today. It is post-frontal conditions. It rained on Monday really bad. It's kind of cool, but I'm gonna try it anyway and see what we can get after. If you guys are new to the channel, please subscribe, follow, all that stuff. I have a Patreon down there in the description. Also a link to all of my gear and everything that I use. And I'm gonna be walking you through that as the day progresses. All right, I'll see you in a minute. So as you guys know, when I first get to a lake, I like to try new things, new spots, etc. So I'm gonna try different things today to try to get it onto a consistent bite. New spots. I normally start at the west side. My man Christian told me that this year the bite has been mostly on the east side. I saw a lot of activity driving in on the east side. So I will give that a shot, but I did want to stop at a couple little places while the sun is still over the hill. Oh, look at this. On the spinner. Awesome. On the spinner bait. Very cool. This is only like my second spinnerbait fish. Not very big, but man, that was a great bite. Awesome. All right, so you know that I like to really work a spot. I mean, especially, look at this. Picturesque, beautiful, it's calm, it's quiet. The wind just kind of died down a little bit, so it's actually not that bad fishing over here. But I just have this feeling that right now, this time of year at this lake, you have to find the feeding fish. And there's a certain style that I want to fish today. It's going to be aggressive. It's you know, reaction baits, crankbill, as you know, jerk bait, spinner bait, all those things. The water is cloudy because of the rain. So I think the lighter colors, the brighter colors, spinner bait, flashy, maybe a chatterbait. But I really feel like I got to get on the schools of feeding fish here because I know they're here, so I'm gonna keep moving. The spot last year, because it was all underwater, but it still looks pretty fishy if you ask me. So as you can see, I'm in kind of a new spot for me. I don't really fish this side of the lake. It just takes so long to get here, and I'm always have success on the west side. It's shallow, it's very muddy water, but there's tons of bait. There's giant schools of shad. I don't know if you could see that right back there. Birds chasing them. And then there was one on the opposite side behind me up against the wall. But it is very murky. I don't see a lot of fish activity. I see birds chasing the shad everywhere, but I don't see fish at all. So I don't know. I just gotta keep, I think I gotta keep moving. I may have to go back to the west side where the water seems to be a little clearer. There's just giant schools of shad back here, and these are good sized fish. Like shad, they're like 3-inch size, but just, I mean, I don't see any fish. I just see birds chasing them up. Oh, finally. God dog. All right. Oh man, that was a chore to get this guy. All right, buddy, thank you. All right, I had another one. There he goes. Came back for it, I think. Yeah, I went down there and I could not get a single bite.
Okay.
So I was looking.
One at Cachuma Bay, and we've been kind of checking along the line here to see what's going on.
Yeah, deeper corners, clearer water.
Okay.
Well, it's a little funner on the light line. Not much funner with these little fish, but seems like I've found a pattern. Not one that I really wanted. I threw everything this morning to try to get a reaction bite, but it looks like the old drop shot. Because I think because it's cloudy water and they can't see all that well, they're kind of staying put and not really chasing bait. So you got to kind of find them and then put the bait in front of them, which is what I'm doing with the drop shot. And it's just corners like this, wind swept. The water's a little bit clearer, and I'm just taking my time around the corners like this. I threw a Senko a couple times to the same point, and then the drop shot as well, and it's been effective. Again, toward this side of the lake, the water's a little clearer, so I may just hit these corners and do this, because it seems like the only way to get a bite right now. All right, so I'd say I found a pattern here. 4 or 5 bites back to back. Kind of where I thought they would be today, on these big points here. A little bit deeper water, a little bit clearer water, as you can see. Wind swept, so it's plenty of oxygen around this, like that corner right there. So I'm just gonna do that. I mean, unfortunately, I'm throwing the drop shot in the Senko. Got most of my bites on the drop shot, a couple on the Senko. And it's kind of a slow finesse sort of day today, I think, because of the cloudy water and the storm that just came through. So they're not really moving around. You can kind of tell because all those shad earlier, there's no bass busting on them, so they're not even schooled up yet. Again, may have to do with the water level, but I'm just gonna hit these points all the way back up and get on some more fish. I just realized why I haven't been catching any fish. Forgot to pump them up. There we go. Now I'm ready. So I noticed when you're throwing the crankbait, you want trees like this. I've had a lot of luck casting through the trees and bouncing it off, or a rocky sort of ledge, not this sort of mud one that you're seeing here. All right, there's one. Alright, on the crankbait, little guy, but that was fun. So when I am drop shot fishing, what I like to do is drift on a point like this naturally and present the bait like, you know, whatever the bass are eating down there, as if it's naturally sort of washing over the point where they're at. So, you know, I may give it a little jiggle, just a little added movement, but most of the time I just drag it into the spot where I assume the fish are lying in wait. Again, it's not all that windy over here. So every lake that I go to, I've got a little honey hole that I know will produce at least one fish. It's like if I'm just dying and desperate for like a bite so I can film or get a little extra footage, it's always a spot, and I guarantee you I'm in that spot right now. What did I tell you? It's the honey hole, man. Always fish here. Does not feel very big, unless he just realized he was hooked. But it's not that, it's not bad. And it's not that, you know, big of a secret. This spot right here, just a nice corner into this giant cove. Nothing to write home about. But like I said, if I need a bite, this is where I'll get one. Water is very clean right here. Should have just stayed on this side, because that east side is just so nasty right now. There's like a hatch of some sort of flies And you can see them. I don't know if you can see that floating on the water. It's quite a bit. But if you watch for a second, there's trout keep coming up and popping them. All right, guys, it's getting late in the day. Bite's starting to slow down as if it ever heated up. But I'm gonna head to the far end of the lake, try a couple more spots, and then that is it for me. I'd like to get like one more good fish, as always, and then I might call it a day. Look at that, big old school of shad. Not a bass in sight. Looks like they just stocked with trout. You can see the trout hitting the surface. There's so much food in here, so many bugs, that these trout are gonna be loving life. All right, I got one on the spinner, crank, drop shot, Senko. Not my most favorite way to fish this lake, but that's okay. Probably that cold front and the rain and everything on Monday kind of slowed things down. But anyway, that is all right. So I've got a new Patreon. I really appreciate it if you guys do get a membership and all that stuff. We got all kinds of merch. I'm new to it, so if you have any pointers, let me know. Got a lot of videos coming, so stay tuned, subscribe, watch, share, all that good stuff. And I will see you tomorrow.